Look, I want to show you something that most financial content out there completely ignores. An actual real-world budget. Not some theoretical template, and definitely not a guru's generic advice. Today, we're tearing down the real anonymized numbers of how someone earning $45,000 a year managed to pay off 80 grand in debt in just 4 years. I'm Zach, and here on Zak Wealth Files, my entire mission is to make wealth building simple, accurate, and genuinely useful for you. Now, most people look at those two numbers, 80,000 in debt, 45,000 in salary, and they immediately think, no way, that math is literally impossible. But it's not. If you're staring down your own debt right now, wondering if it's even possible to get out on a completely normal salary, this explainer is exactly for you. All right, let's dive right in. We'll just call her Jay for privacy. But let me tell you, every single number you're about to see is pulled straight from her actual budget spreadsheets. So, Jay was 26, working a normal full-time job, and her total debt was sitting at a staggering $80,000. She told me that when she first totaled up this number, it didn't even feel like math anymore. It felt like a literal physical weight on her chest. You know the feeling, right? It's the kind of massive looming number that just makes you want to close the laptop, walk away, and pretend it doesn't exist. To most people on a median income, 80 grand looks completely hopeless, and a lot of folks just give up right there. And honestly, here's exactly why it felt so hopeless. Jay's gross salary was $45,000 a year. But remember, that's before taxes. Once you actually deduct taxes, workplace insurance, and some basic retirement contributions, her real take-home pay was only about $2,900 a month. On paper, it's really hard to see how $2,900 a month can even begin to dismantle an $80,000 mountain.
Now, it's really eye-opening to see how that 80 grand actually breaks down. It wasn't just one massive mistake, you know? It was kind of a perfect storm of life events. The biggest chunk was $48,000 in student loans. Then she had $18,000 in credit card debt, and that came from a couple of really rough years. A sudden job loss, a major car repair she couldn't cash flow, and, well, just some general overspending when she was a bit younger. The final piece was a $14,000 car loan, but that credit card debt, with its insane interest rates, that was the one that was truly bleeding her dry.
So, to really understand how she beat this, we have to look under the hood at the system she built. She didn't just manifest her way out of debt. She built a mechanical system, and she stuck to it, even when it was incredibly boring or painfully difficult. And this $2,900 hitting her checking account every month, that was her absolute foundation. Every single financial decision she made had to fit inside that very unforgiving limit. Let's break down where every dollar went. She split an apartment with a roommate, which kept rent to a reasonable $900. Groceries were held to a super strict $280. Transportation, so gas, insurance, maintenance, was $210. Utilities in her phone bill came to $140. Her out-of-pocket health insurance was $90. Then she was paying $560 every single month just to cover the bare minimum payments across all those debts. She tucked a tiny $50 away into an emergency fund. And finally, her personal spending was capped at $120. Now, if you subtract all those fixed and minimum expenses from her take-home pay, she was left with exactly $550.
Hold on, let's just pause on that personal spending number for a second. $120 a month. That includes literally everything else. Netflix, going out with friends, clothes, gifts, the whole shebang. I'm gonna shoot straight with you. This budget was brutally tight. She told me herself it was not a fun time. Actually, it was genuinely restrictive for about the first entire year. I'm showing you this raw, unfiltered version because if I pretended this was just some breezy, easy lifestyle tweak, it set you up to quit the second things got tough. It was a massive sacrifice.
So here is the million-dollar question. Or, I guess, the $80,000 question. She's living completely bare bones and has scraped together just $550 of free cash flow. How on earth does an extra $550 a month actually destroy a mountain of debt? I mean, if she just randomly threw that money at her balances, it would literally take decades to clear.
This is where the exact mechanics come into play. Every single extra dollar of that $550 went straight to debt. Not into a brokerage account, not into a fancy high-yield savings account for a vacation. Debt came first. And she didn't just throw money at it blindly. She used a very specific mathematical framework called the debt avalanche. If you haven't heard of it, the rule is simple. You pay the absolute minimum on all your accounts, and you route every single extra dollar to the debt with the highest interest rate. For Jay, that was her 18 grand credit card balance, which was sitting at over 20% interest. She went straight for the jugular and attacked the most toxic debt first.
And honestly, this perfectly highlights one of the biggest debates in personal finance, the debt avalanche versus the debt snowball.
With a snowball method, you ignore the interest rates entirely and pay off your smallest balances first, just to get those quick psychological wins. And look, both are totally legitimate strategies. The avalanche mathematically saves you the most money on interest, for sure. But the snowball method, that keeps a lot of people motivated because they get the rush of seeing individual accounts vanish quickly. Jay went with the avalanche because she preferred watching her total principal shrink. When you have two credible views like this, you just need to pick the one that fits how your brain works and fully commit.
You know, when you're slogging through month 3, it feels like absolutely nothing is happening. But let's zoom out and see what 4 years of disciplined execution actually builds. Her income and life didn't just stay frozen. About a year and a half in, she picked up a weekend job, bringing in an extra $400 a month. And every single dollar of that went straight to the debt. By year 2, that nasty 20% credit card was totally gone. And here's the real secret sauce. She didn't just take that old credit card payment and start spending it on dinners out. She rolled it entirely onto her car loan. By year 3, the car was paid off. By year 4, she had built this unstoppable snowball of cash flow, aggressively chewing through her student loans. Check out how much her budget evolved by year 4. Her take-home pay had grown to $3,200. Rent and groceries went up a tiny bit, but look at transportation. It dropped down to just $100 because the car was fully paid off. She finally gave herself a little breathing room, bumping personal spending up to $200. But the most absolutely crucial number is down at the bottom. Her monthly debt payment exploded to $1,170. She didn't get there by winning the lottery or finding a hot stock tip. She did it by stacking small income increases, keeping her lifestyle in check, and relentlessly rolling over those freed-up minimum payments.
The exact dollar amounts from Jay's life don't really matter. It's the framework she used that you need to copy. So I want you to walk away from this explainer knowing exactly what your next move is. Here's the reproducible 5-step framework. Step 1. Know your exact numbers. Write down every single balance and its interest rate. You literally cannot defeat a monster if you refuse to look at it. Step 2. Build a temporary bare-bones budget. Remember, this is a season, it's not forever. Step 3. Pick either the avalanche or snowball method and absolutely commit to it. Step 4. Anytime your income goes up, whether it's a raise or a side gig, auto-route that new money straight to your debt before you even have a chance to spend it. And step 5, as accounts clear, immediately redirect those freed up minimum payments to the next target. That payment stocking, that's the ultimate secret to hyper-accelerating your payoff.
I really want to leave you with this one thought. $80,000 of debt on a $45,000 salary sounds completely impossible on paper. And frankly, if you try to pull it off in 12 months, it is. But stretched out across 4 years, executed with a mechanical system, and calmly adjusted as life happens, well, it simply becomes a math problem instead of an impossible one. That mental shift is a real game changer. Now, a quick but very important boundary check before we wrap up. Debt payoff strategies depend a lot on your specific interest rates and whether you actually have an emergency fund set up. So this explainer is strictly for general education based on a real-world case study. It's not personalized financial advice. If you're dealing with overwhelming debt right now, please go sit down with a licensed financial advisor or a nonprofit credit counselor who can help you look at your unique picture. Look, clarity and trust beat short-term excitement every single time, and getting out of debt is ultimately all about the clarity of your numbers. So I'm going to leave you with a tough question. What is the one toxic expense holding you back from building real wealth right now, and what are you willing to sacrifice for just one season to completely destroy it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this unfiltered budget teardown genuinely useful today, make sure to subscribe to Zak Wealth Files for more accurate, step-by-step financial frameworks. Keep executing your plan, and I'll see you in the next explainer.